Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jason, Dedeker, how are we doing today?
Oh, wow. Well, I feel like I could use some drinking today, and I do, and maybe the Bible, too, as an added bonus on top of it.
Fun.
Especially for you, Jace. You've been fighting with our some technical issues that we've had for a while. I really feel like you could use some drinking and biblical fun today.
Yeah, so I'm already halfway through my beer that I started with here. I've spent literally the last hour and a half having a fight with technical things to make this show happen. Mm-hmm. But here we are. Please let me know if for some reason you can't hear us or something. But I'm pretty sure I've got it all sorted out.
Yeah, no, you did a very, very good job. It's beautiful. Well, what are we all drinking today to start off with?
Let me just continue telling you about my beer.
Please.
So this is a beer called Snail Bones.
Which snails don't have bones.
I know, right? So
does the thing on their back count as a bone? I guess not.
It's just a shell.
It's a shell. Yeah.
So it's called Snail Bones. I don't know where the name comes from, but I thought it was cute, and I decided to try it because it's an IPA that I haven't had before. That's a local Washington brewery, the Elysian Brewery, and yeah, it's nice. It's honestly a little more, I would say, drinkable than I normally like an IPA to be.
You really wanted to punch you in the face.
Exactly. That's really pennies. What I'm looking for. Yeah, it's just like a punch in the face with a fist that's holding a roll of pennies. You know, like that kind of a that kind of a thing. But it is quite nice, and it's made me think of that song. Them bones, them snail bones, them snail bones. That's not how the song goes. And also, we have not gotten to that part of the Bible yet, but we will eventually.
Okay, so the fact that I knew nothing of what you were speaking about, that makes sense.
I also don't at all know what he's talking about.
Oh.
You know the song I'm singing, though, right? Them bones, them dry bones?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Really?
I know the character Dry Bones in Mario, but that's it.
Right. Them bones, them dry bones. Really? You don't know that? It's like an old I don't know if it was a spiritual originally or like I assume it was. Anyway, It's about a vision of like the prophet Isaiah or like something. We'll get there later.
Okay. I don't know Isaiah yet.
No.
But I will.
He's a ways off still, yeah.
All right, fine. All right. In the meantime, I will talk about what I'm drinking because I'm very proud of it. It is a Sun Cafe drink from where I work. It's called a candied ginger, and it's ginger juice, lemon juice, and agave and tequila generally. I have a little candied ginger piece right here.
That's cool.
Who said Ezekiel?
Ezekiel's the prophet that saw the dry bones.
Oh, not Isaiah. Okay.
Yeah. All them prophets, I get confused.
Okay, yes. I'm also now already halfway through
I'm trying
Seattle,
to pace myself, but yes. Oh, yes.
There's a semi-sweet hard cider from Seattle Cider Company. Now, this is not like the 14%, or no, not a 14%. That cider actually I drank was like 14%, something ridiculous when I was in Australia. And I got really drunk.
That you got really drunk
a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Generally, they're like 7%.
I know.
Max, maybe 6.
It was an extra hard one. This one's only 6.5. So
that makes a lot more sense. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Well, after all of that, let's discuss real quick what we talked about last time. We met Bathsheba. That was like the big takeaway for me because I had heard about her, and I learned that she was the lady bathing on the roof in that one song.
In the Jeff Buckley now I've forgotten it.
It's called
who did you call him last time?
Jeff Buckley / I don't know
Rufus
what I called
Wainwright?
him. No,
he also did a cover of it.
Oh, did he? Goodness,
he did. Yeah,
Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen. That's the one. You called him Leonard Bernstein last time, or
no,
something?
I said Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz, right?
Which is just dead wrong, just completely incorrect. Yeah. Okay, and then what are we reading today? Let's get on this. Get on with it.
Let's get on to it.
Yeah.
All right. Today we are reading 2 Samuel 12 and 13. Only 2 chapters today. If you want to read along with us, go to drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in 2 Samuel 12 and 13. As we get started, we want to remind everybody to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, 2 Samuel 12. Yahweh sent Nathan to David. I'm assuming this is Nathan A, not Nathan 1.
Which one is which?
I'm assuming this is Nathan 1, actually.
Okay.
I think of the prophet.
The prophet.
Okay,
Nathan.
the prophet is Nathan 1. Nathan A is the son who maybe we never hear from again. But
that's
this is
what
prophet
I'm leaning
Nathan.
toward, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Nathan 1. Yeah, he's the most important Nathan. So Yahweh sent Nathan to David. He came to him and said to him, there were 2 men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had very many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, except one little ewe lamb which he had brought and raised. It grew up together with him and with his children. It ate of his own food, drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom and was to him like a daughter.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. A traveler came to the rich man and he sparred to take of his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring man who had come to him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man who had come to him. That was a lot. I don't know quite what happened there.
What's your guess at what happened?
Well, do they mean by dressed like he killed it and dressed it? That's awful. This ewe was like a daughter to this man. Yes, thank you, Mom. He killed it. I know. It's awful. It's awful. Yeah, so he killed it. Okay, it's awful. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man, and he said to Nathan, as Yahweh lives, the man who has done this is worthy to die. I mean, I'm with David, but that is kind of like a big reaction. Yes.
I think we've actually had a little bit of a misunderstanding of the story here. I just looked this up in the message to try to clarify, and his little parable here goes that the rich man had tons of sheep and tons of cattle, and the poor man had this one little lammy that was like his daughter. And then one day a traveler dropped in on the rich man, and he was too stingy to take an animal from his own herds or flocks to make a meal for his visitor, so he took the poor man's lamb and cooked that up.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because there was a lot of and he did this, and he did this, and he also did this.
Right, I know. It's their lack of pronouns that really, or lack of differentiating pronouns, yeah.
Yeah, geez, okay. No, I mean, he's clearly talking about Bathsheba. Because David is a king and has a gajillion wives. Whoever he wants, and Abigail, the most beautiful lady in the world, or one of 4 most beautiful women in the world by Cosmo magazine. And, why in the world is he also going after what's-her-butt, Bathshebes, who was bathing on the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hence her name.
Can't let that go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, her name is Bathsheba, and she was bathing.
I mean, that's the way to remember it. I don't think that's why she was called Bathsheba, but...
No, I doubt it, but it's just funny to me. That's what happened. Okay, but anyways, yikes. So Nathan is probably not happy, even though David is the one who's unhappy right now. David needs to see the light and see that he's trying to parabolize him.
Right.
Not paralyze, but
parabolize.
Talk in parables.
Uh-huh.
Okay, as Yahweh lives, the man who has done this is worthy to die. he shall restore the lamb fourfold because he did this thing and because he has no pity. I don't know, he's going to restore it. He's going to give him 4 lammies.
I think that's the idea, yeah.
But this isn't going to, it's not going to be the daughter lamb.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nathan said to David, "You are the man. This is what Yahweh, the God of Israel, says. I anointed you king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hand of Saul. I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that would have been too little, I would have added to you many more such things. Why have you despised the world of Yahweh to do that which is evil in his sight?" Yeah. "You have struck Uriah the Hittite with the sword and have taken his wife to be your wife and have slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon." Yeah. I mean, this is all true.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Calling it like it is.
Yeah, Nathan knows what's up. "Now, therefore, the sword will never depart from your house, because you have despised me and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife." The sword will never depart from your house?
You're going to be plagued with some troubles, conflict, sword-based conflict.
Sword-based conflict, among other things.
Metaphorical sword-based conflict, possibly.
People are going to die.
Okay.
Yeah.
"This is what Yahweh says. Behold, I will raise up evil against you out of your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor, and he will lie with your wives in the sight of the sun." Is he saying like in broad?
I'm going to do it outside.
In broad daylight, they're just going to be like packs of men and women just like doing it all over the place.
Well, it's got to mean though that they're going to lie with your wives and they're not even going to be ashamed of it. It's not even going to be a secrety affair kind of thing. It's just going to be out in the open. Everyone's going to know what a fool you are.
Yeah. He definitely is. Wow. Remember when like David was like just a young harp playing boy?
I know, he was so innocent, bringing cheeses.
Yeah, he loved Jonathan.
Yeah.
He seemed a good man, and now, yikes. Yeah, okay. So David said to Nathan, "I have sinned against Yahweh." Nathan said to David, "Yahweh has also put away your sin. You will not die."
But
easy. Great.
Of this, okay. I'm assuming. Okay. However, because by this deed you have given great occasion to Yahweh's enemies to blasphemy, the child who is born to you shall surely die. Oh, so this is not Solomon.
I guess not, because
you're right.
I know Solomon grows up.
I do think we got those names out of order about when different sons were born. I think the names we've heard already haven't been born yet. Kind of like we talked about with Nathan, where we think that Nathan might not have actually been born yet when we were talking about Prophet Nathan. So
versus this Nathan, I don't even know who. Right. Like which wife birthed Nathan?
Doesn't matter.
No
one cares.
I think that it hasn't happened yet. I think that might be why. It's a little confusing, the timeline here. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay, Nathan departed to his house. He's like, "See ya." Yahweh struck. Whoa! Yahweh struck the child that Uriah's wife bore to David, and it was very sick.
So that, the kid that she got pregnant with before he killed her husband.
He struck it?
Yahweh struck it with illness.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, yeah. I for whatever reason I conflated that with David. That like David hit the
just
kid.
came home and like slapped his little boy.
Just, like,
I don't know.
Yeah, jeez.
I know. I was sorry. I was wrong there. I was wrong. Okay, it was Yahweh. It was Yahweh's fault. Okay. So the kid was sick. David therefore begged God for the child, and David fasted and went in and lay all night on the earth. The elders of his house arose and stood beside him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, neither did he eat bread with them. It happened on the 7th day that the child died. The servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead, for they said, "Behold, while the child was yet alive, we spoke to him, and he didn't listen to our voice. How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead?"
It's interesting that David's just off, sleeping in the temple or whatever, praying, and not actually like there to see what happens to the child. Isn't that a little weird?
I mean, I assume his interpretation is that the greatest show of dedication he could give is to just be in the temple 24/7.
Well, and I guess he got this insider information that Yahweh is the one who's doing this to punish him. So he's hoping he can make up for it. Okay. All right.
But when David saw that his servants were whispering together, David perceived that the child was dead. And David said to his servants, "Is the child dead?" They said, "He is dead."
Gosh. Jeez.
Very sad. Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his clothing, and he came into the house of Yahweh and worshipped. Then he came into his own house, and when he required, they set bread before him, and he ate. He was like, well, that's done. Okay.
Yeah.
Then said his servants to him, "What thing is this that you have done? You did fast and weep for the child while it was alive, but when the child is dead, you did rise and eat bread." Good point.
Exactly. Like, well, this is weird.
I gotta say, some ballsy servants to be pointing this out to David.
I know.
That's true,
they're over it. They're over it at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In the message, the translation is, the servants asked him, "What's going on with you?"
What's wrong with you? Are you weirdo? Yeah. Okay. He said, "While the child was yet alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, who knows whether Yahweh will not be gracious to me that the child may live? But now he is dead. Why should I fast? Can I bring him back again?"
I mean, he's also not wrong.
I mean, I know, but geez.
Yeah.
I shall go to him, but he will not return to me. David comforted Bathsheba, his wife, and went into her and lay with her, and she bore a son, and he called his name Solomon.
Okay.
There it is. There's Solomon. He was the second one.
That escalated quickly.
Gosh.
I hope there was some time there between the child dying.
Yeah, 9 months passed. No, it makes it sound like it was like bada bing, bada boom.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, honey. I know it'll make you feel better.
Gosh.
Doing me.
Doing
another
me.
Kid.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah,
Wow.
ugh is right. Goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
well, Yahweh loved him, and he sent by the hand of Nathan the prophet, and he named him Jedidah for Yahweh's sake. Is that what that says?
Isn't it Jedediah?
It's Jedediah.
That's the one. Jedediah. Jedidah.
Doesn't that show up in like Guys and Dolls or something, or Bye Bye Birdie or something? They make fun of him for being named Jedediah.
Oh,
I definitely haven't. I've been in Guys and Dolls, but not in Bye Bye Birdie. So
they're like Jedediah.
that sounds like it means beloved of the Lord. Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. So Solomon is also named Jedediah? Or who's
that
named
classic,
Jedediah?
Yeah, Solomon. Yeah, it's that classic two-name thing they like to do.
It's like
it's like, my name's Ruth, but it's also everything's shitty. Or like, my name is this guy, but it's also stupid jerkface or whatever.
But it's also
have the two names.
This year sucks.
Right,
that was one that we learned.
Hashtag 2020 blows. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jace, also known as 2020 sucks.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently everything's cool. Solomon Jedediah is, he's good. He's good. So Yahweh loved him. He named him Jedediah for Yahweh's sake. Now Joab fought against Rabbah of the children of Ammon and took the royal city. We're just going to do a 180 here. Just going to go onto a different, like a 360. No, not a 360. We're just going to go away from this story. Do something else.
We kind of we would have sort of a fade out there. And now we're fading up on like meanwhile on the battlefields.
I would appreciate a meanwhile. I'm just saying. It's like whiplash here. We're just going to the next thing all of a sudden. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Now Joab fought against Rabbah of the children of Ammon and took the royal city. Joab sent messengers to David. They said, I have fought against Rabbah. Yes, I have taken the city of waters. Ooh.
Like
write that
Waterworld?
down. Yeah, write that down, Dedeker. Why is it called the City of Waters?
So I checked here in the message, and he says, I've just captured the city's water supply.
Oh, Well, that's very
that's
different.
entirely different.
But maybe by water supply he means I have captured their super cool water park called
Water World.
Wait, World City of Water or whatever.
Kevin Costner is in this like not good movie.
Is it Slaughter Park? Slaughter Park, the water park.
So I feel like they're competing parks.
See,
there's City of Water, and it's like competing park is Slaughter Park.
I've never seen Waterworld, but I just remember because I was too young to see it when it came out. And I remember my mom saw it and she was like, it was horrible. And so I never saw it.
Yeah, I think I've seen the Waterworld stunt show more times than I've seen Waterworld the film.
Oh, really?
I mean, the stunt show is great.
It is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
We saw it in Japan, also the Japanese version.
Didn't we learn that the Waterworld stunt show is like the longest running stunt show in the world or something
like that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like as old as we are.
It's been this weirdly popular stunt show based on a moderately popular movie from the 90s. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed Waterworld, though. It was a fun movie.
All right. Well,
I also haven't watched it since I was a teenager, so maybe my tastes have changed.
Exactly. I'm probably never going to see it, but here we are. Kevin Costner. Not a great actor. Just saying. Okay. Let's see. Now, therefore, gather the rest of the people together and encamp against the city, and take it, lest I take the city and it be called after my name.
Wouldn't he want that?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't.
No, so this is Joab saying this to David.
Oh, see, now I can read the message because I'm standing next to you.
Now I got good.
The message.
You got the 411.
Intel.
Please tell me what is happening.
Yeah, it's Joab being sassy with his old time buddy David, being like, "Get on down here. I'm gonna name this city Joabton." And then David's like, "Nuh-uh,
no,
this is gonna be Davidshire or whatever."
The Davidshire. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in a super good mood because I just got a replacement son.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And God loves him, so yay.
Even gave him a second name.
Yeah. David gathered all the people together and went to Rabbah and fought against it and took it. He took the crown off of the king from off his head. And the weight of it was... whoa, okay, what is this? And the weight of it was a talent of gold. A talent... of gold.
Talent is a measure of weight.
Yeah. It's a biblical term. I was familiar with it because of the Bible. I'm assuming you heard it before. I only know it because
of the Bible, yeah.
Yeah, talents.
Well, I have never heard that. Okay, a talent of gold.
We could look up what a talent is.
Yeah, how much talent does a person have to be talented? Like a half a talent, a full talent, an eighth of a talent.
Okay.
Exactly.
But I think we're supposed to understand that it's heavy.
Okay. All right, it's a heavy.
People are saying in chat that it's like 70 pounds or 33
That's
kilograms.
amazing.
Hold on, 70 pounds on your head?
I think that's the point. That
please don't put that on my head.
Ridiculously heavy thing.
Please don't put that on my head.
There's no
unless
way.
I'm lying down.
We're gonna look it up. We're gonna get skinny.
We'll look into this crown.
Dedeker calls BS. She doesn't believe you. Okay.
I just 70 pounds. Like,
I know.
Your neck bones would crush.
Yes,
maybe it's like attached to his throne and he just sits underneath it.
He's like,
and kind of plugs in like a little socket.
Sits up into it. Cool.
Here I am.
So it's really funny. This idea in my head, it was like David just kind of plucks this with his thumb and forefinger off the head of this king, and now he's like,
it's actually like, yeah.
No, we got multiple men. I can't hold 70 pounds up like this. There's no freaking way. So he definitely grab.
No,
I can't.
No, there's no way.
70
Jace.
pounds like this? No, Jace.
Not
no.
like that.
Hold it a little closer to your body. I bet you could do it. You could totally do it.
We'll have to Mythbusters this for the bonus episode.
I'd like to see you do it. I'd like to see you do it.
Yeah,
I
could do that. I know for sure 100% that I could do that, and I think both of you could too.
Okay,
did you just
easy,
hear
but
this?
I think you could do it.
100%. I know that I could do that.
Okay, homework between now and then. We have to find some kind of 70-pound object that's maybe vaguely crownish in size, maybe not necessarily in shape, for us to test of if you just approach it and you don't know how heavy it is yet, and you just bink, right off of the surface.
And then the next step is can you balance it on your head?
Exactly. And then can you do both at once?
Putting your arms out like this, this is not a lot of leverage.
You're not going to hold it at arms straight out. Come on now.
Even here, even maybe here, yes, the closer that you get, I want down here to be able to. Then I could hold 70 pounds, but not like that. Okay. We're done here. Okay, I'm going to continue. All right. So he took it, he put it, it was a talent of gold. Whatever. He took the crown of their king from off his head, and the weight of it was a talent of gold, and in it were precious stones, and it was set on David's head. He brought forth
David
crushed. Yeah. David's like, oh, guys, you got to hold this up with me. My neck cannot deal with this, okay? Yeah, if it was a talent of gold and then also there were precious stones in it, it would probably be like 100 pounds or something. It would be ridiculous.
Wow.
He brought forth the spoil of the city exceeding much. He brought forth the people who were therein and put them under saws and under harrows of iron and under axes of iron and made them pass through the brick kiln. And thus did he to all the cities of the children of Ammon. David and all the people returned to Jerusalem.
All right. Okay. Questions.
Yeah,
okay. Because there's a discrepancy between the image that provided for me listening to what Emily was saying and what I'm seeing in the message.
And also the NIV.
Oh, really? Even in the NIV?
Yeah, the NIV is more similar to the message interpretation.
Yes. Because what you read, Emily, makes it sound like he
sawed him in half
and hacked him with axes and kicked them into the brick making kiln and just did all terrible things to them, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. I was like, so he sawed like the whole town in half.
Right. So, okay, here's what I'm finding. So the King James Version basically comes out pretty much the same as what you read, where it definitely sounds like he's using these things to kill all of them. But then the Message, the NIV, and the Complete Jewish Bible, which are the other ones I have up right now, are all saying that he made them work at those various things. Like he made them labor using saws, picks, and axes and making bricks, not being burned in brick kilns
so he
themselves.
Enslaved them.
Yeah,
which is more in line with what we've heard before.
Though,
that's very different.
Though, the whole like measuring people off with cords and killing every 2/3 of them is a pretty torturous thing. So I wouldn't put this too far past that, to be honest. But yes, it seems like most translators agree he just enslaved them and made them do these jobs.
Oh, great.
Cool. So
that's better.
So much better.
Yeah.
That was the end of that chapter. That lovely random chapter.
Amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we should talk about our Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we've only got one other chapter today. Well, let's take a break to talk about how you can support this show and help keep this going.
Yeah. On that note, I need to issue a content warning for this next chapter. So, content warning for sexual violence. I'm sorry, it is the Bible, after all.
I know. I'm amazed at how often this happens in the Bible.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be amazed, but, kids are supposed to read parts of this, right?
I mean, supposed to. Okay. There's a lot to unpack with that statement you just made, Emily. So if kids are supposed to read some of it, yes, this would not be a section that generally kids are assigned to read. I can attest to that. This is not a story that I remember.
Okay.
But I do feel like a lot of Christian parents I know wouldn't object to their kid reading the Bible on their own.
I mean, I got the whole story of like David and Bathsheba, which has some awful stuff in it, just straight up.
True too, yeah. And that's It's a good point.
So, yeah, someone in the chat is pointing out that maybe they didn't write this with kids in mind necessarily.
I don't think any of this was written with kids in mind. Yeah, let's be clear. Let's be clear on something that we've learned here is that the Bible is not a book for kids. Despite what anyone says about it being wholesome, it is not. It's not wholesome at all. This is not a book for kids. So kids, if you're listening to this show, we'll
turn your ears off for this one.
Good. We're done with this one. Yeah. Go get a parent and talk to them about consent or something like that.
Yeah.
Instead of what we're about to do here.
It's a great idea.
Okay.
All
right.
Ready?
Chapter 13. So Jason and I are sharing this one. That's why it's appropriate we're standing next to each other for the chapter that we're sharing.
So like every other word, right?
Yeah. That's how we'll do it.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. It happened after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a beautiful sister. whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her.
Excuse me?
So like a half sibling, I guess.
No, that's not what I think.
You think full sibling?
The fact that it said
even
that
if it's not full sibling, okay? Like, yikes.
That's true, yeah. Probably half sibling.
I'm pretty sure, because the way it's worded like this, that it's like this son of David had a sister, and then separately this other son of David loved that sister.
I see. So it was like, okay, I get it. Like one of his wives.
Yeah.
David is the part that makes them all siblings.
Right, and multiple of his wives. Yeah, Amnon is probably from one and Absalom was from the other.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick because of his sister Tamar. For she was a virgin, and it seemed hard to Amnon to do anything to her. What is all that about? What is going on there?
I know.
That was a lot in that one statement. He's like lovesick with her. And he's like frustrated because it's like she's a virgin, so I can't mess around with her. But like, what does that mean? If she wasn't a virgin, what would you do with her?
Right, she's still your half sister.
Freaking weirdo. Yeah.
Okay, but Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son
like
of
a small dab, a Jonadab.
Jonadab. Yeah. The son of Shimeah, David's brother, and Jonadab was a very subtle man.
Okay, this is a lot of like family members getting involved
Well, so this one's a cousin then.
Yeah, it's his cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's David's brother.
Yeah.
David's brother's son. So nephew of David, cousin of
Amnon and all these people.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said to him, Why, son of the king, are you thus lean from day to day? Won't you tell me? Amnon said to him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said to him, you better go see a therapist about that.
Right.
And that was the end of the chapter.
No, that's not what happened.
Just wishful thinking. Jonadab said to him, lay you down on your bed and feign yourself sick. And when your father comes to see you, tell him, please let my sister Tamar come and give me bread to eat, and dress the food in my sight that I may see it and eat it from her hand. Ugh.
Yeah, that's also weird. Also a weird request.
Okay. So
but I guess you're a cousin, so you're like prime marrying material, so maybe that's like...
Ew.
But this is Jonadab's idea that he's giving to Amnon to do this plan, to pretend that he's sick.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that's super weird. He's asking, tell your dad to have...
your sister come and nurse you.
Dad?
And
nurse you? Oh, not that kind of nurse.
No.
Emily.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is the Bible.
I know. I'm just gonna
true.
keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Amnon
please.
lay down and feigned himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said to the king, please let her sister Tamar come. I don't think that was a correct translation.
Yeah.
Please let her sister Tamar come.
And make me a couple of cakes in my sight that I may eat from her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to your brother Amnon's house and dress him food. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down. She took dough and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes. She took the pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. Amnon said, have out all men from me. They went out, every man from him.
Like, get all
he had
the
a bunch of
other
servants around,
men
yeah.
around here, get them out.
Yeah, I think
Right.
he's just setting this scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Amnon said to Tamar, bring the food into the chamber that I may eat from your hand. Tamar took the cakes which she had made and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. When she had brought them near to him to eat, he took hold of her and said to her, come lie with me, my sister. She
She's
answered
like,
him,
hell no.
Yeah, she answered him, no, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel.
Or anywhere. Or anywhere.
Anywhere, really.
Let's just be clear.
Don't you do this folly. Where shall I carry my shame? And as for you, you will be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore, please, speak to the king, for he will not withhold me from you. That part I'm a little confused about.
Yeah. Do we want to look at
Yeah, what's the message say?
Of that?
He will not withhold me from you.
Verse 13 here.
Yeah. What about me? Where could I get rid of my disgrace? And what about you? You'd be like one of the wicked fools in Israel. Please speak to the king. He will not keep me from being married to you. I see. So she's trying to make the argument of like, if you really want to have sex with me, go ask the king so that at least you could marry me, even though that would probably be weird.
Ew.
But then at least I don't have the stigma of not being a virgin anymore and being unmarried.
Could they be married? I don't
know.
think that they could.
Maybe.
I thought this was...
But if they're half siblings, maybe that's enough of a degree of separation.
Remember, we got all these rules about like who specifically you could or couldn't have sex with, and now I don't remember. You can't
with the dad, or can you?
No, I think your sister your half sister counts. I think we determined that
your sister
the children of your dad's
What do you mean by
wife,
count? Okay. Oh, somebody said Abraham married his half sister.
Gosh darn it!
Oh, right.
He did.
Yeah, that's been a long time. I don't remember,
but okay.
Okay. I'm going to keep drinking and keep reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need a moment to have some more drink.
Okay. Okay. However, he would not listen to her voice, but being stronger than she, he forced her and lay with her. Then Amnon hated her with exceeding great hatred. For the hatred with which he hated her was greater than the love with which he had loved her. Gosh, jeez.
This is a cautionary tale right here. I'm sorry.
It's very Shakespearean with the whole like love and hatred being so closely intertwined with each other.
Yeah, gosh, okay. Amnon said to her, "Arise, be gone." She said to him, "Not so, because this great wrong in putting me forth is worse than the other that you did to me." But he would not listen to her. Then he called his servant who ministered to him and said, "Put now this woman out for me and bolt the door after her." She had a garment of various colors on her, for with such robes were the king's daughters who were virgins dressed. Then his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her. All right, Tamar put ashes on her head and tore her garment of various colors that was on her, and she laid her hand on her head and went away, crying aloud as she went. With that, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, gosh, okay. Absalom, her brother, said to her, "Has Amnon your brother been with you? But now hold your peace, my sister. He is your brother. Don't take this thing to heart."
What?
Okay.
Don't take it to heart.
I'm sorry, that's impossible.
Don't take it to heart. Like, what can you take to heart if you can't take this to heart?
It's great.
What?
It's a great point. I guess if your like son dies, then you can take that to heart. But if your brother decides to have sex with you, don't take it to heart.
Don't
worry.
This thing to heart. I just want to see other translations of that. Yeah, he said, "Let's keep it quiet." Is kind of. I
see.
And that's what the Message says. Yeah, don't take this thing to heart is what other ones say. Gosh. Okay, I'm going to keep going, though, because I know some spoilers about what happens here. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house. But when King David heard of all these things, he was very angry.
As he should be.
As he should be. Finally, someone who's reacting appropriately. Absalom spoke to Amnon neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Amnon because he had forced his sister Tamar.
I thought, was he not in on the thing?
No,
that was the cousin.
That was the cousin.
Oh, okay, the cousin.
Jonadab.
Yeah.
That asshole.
It happened after full 2 years that Absalom had sheep shearers in Baal Hazor, which is beside Ephraim, and Absalom invited all the king's sons. Absalom came to the king and said, "See now, your servant has sheep shearers. Let the king, I pray you, and let his servants go with your servant." The king said to Absalom, "No, my son, let us not all go, lest we be burdensome to you." He pressed him. However, he would not go, but blessed him. Then said Absalom, "If not, please let my brother Amnon go with us." The king said to him, "Why should he go with you?" But Absalom pressed him, and he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him.
I feel like there's going to be some revenge coming up.
Maybe.
Here.
Absalom commanded his servants, saying, "Mark you now, when Amnon's heart is merry with wine, and when I tell you, smite Amnon, then kill him." I guess smiting is a separate step.
Wait, yeah, I'm like,
him.
Wait a minute. What do they mean by smite? Like, what is, like, F you, Amnon, die. Like, what is it?
So I actually came across this in my research for the bonus episode that we did last, which was that smiting has sort of a broader definition, that it's also a term that's used in the Bible to describe, like, injuring soldiers badly enough that they don't get back up.
Okay,
but
so like
they're not necessarily dead.
Like,
so it's like a grievous wound. So you'll grievously wound him, then kill him. Don't be afraid. Haven't I commanded you? Be courageous and be valiant. Took him 2 years to hatch this plan.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Poor girl, and from here until now.
Yeah. The servants of Absalom did to Amnon as Absalom had commanded.
Good.
Then all the king's sons arose, and every man got him up on his mule and fled. Interesting that they all just ride mules. I guess I would have thought these like princes would have had cool,
some like
Clydesdales
majestic white stallions.
Yeah,
I know. I would ask my mom, because she knows a lot about horses. Like, would mules be more of a thing back then? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like mules be kingly.
Yeah, they would have ridden on Arabians. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So it happened while they were in the way that the news came to David saying, Absalom has slain all the king's sons, and there is not one of them left.
That sounds like some fake news to me.
That's not what happened at all.
Then the king arose and tore his garments and lay on the earth, and all his servants stood by with their clothes torn.
They're like, oh, we gotta do it too. Yikes.
Yeah. Jonadab.
Oh, this dingus is back in the picture.
Yeah,
yes,
Jonadab,
he is.
the son of Shemiah, David's brother, right, answered, "Don't let my lord suppose that they have killed all the young men, the king's sons, for Amnon only is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom, this has been determined from the day that he forced his sister Tamar." So
bro,
he's like,
okay.
You were involved in this, yeah.
Exactly.
But I guess he's the one telling David, like, I've known that he's had it in for him, so I bet it's only him.
He's not long for this world.
Yeah. Now, therefore, don't let my lord the king take the thing to his heart. Comes back around to David.
Don't take it to your heart.
Yeah, don't take it to heart. To think that all the king's sons are dead, for Amnon only is dead.
Just one of your sons.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's all good.
But Absalom fled. The young man who kept the watch lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hillside behind him.
Much.
All right.
Jonadab said to the king, "Behold, the king's sons are come, as your servant said, so it is." In other words,
So
told you so.
You all.
Yeah. It happened, as soon as he had made an end of speaking, that behold, the king's sons came and lifted up their voice and wept. And the king also and all his servants wept very sore. But Absalom fled and went to Talmai, the son of Ammihur, king of Geshur. David mourned for his son every day. So Absalom fled and went to Geshur and was there 3 years.
Why did they have to say that twice?
Yeah, 3 years. That's good, though. I think that'll come back, probably.
Okay.
The soul of King David longed to go forth to Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing he was dead. The end.
So he was happy that this happened? What?
Well, it's like, now that I know he's dead, it's like with the other kid. It's like, now that I know he's dead,
like, I'm good.
Now I can eat. Now I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just when I'm worrying if he's going to die, that's when I suffer.
But okay,
weird.
but that says to me that David knew what happened, what went down.
Yeah,
like,
that's a really good point.
No, that was covered.
What
that was...
Johnny Dab told him? Who told David?
He just found out about it. So after, where was it? After it happened.
King David heard all these things and was very angry. Yeah, but he was very angry, but didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, my mom just said, but not another word about what happened to Tamra.
Or Tamar.
Tamar,
Tamar.
Tamar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing about her.
Didn't do anything. And it was also his daughter as well who was subjected to this.
But, it's a lady. Who cares?
But I suppose for David, all things considered, it's still less of a political blow to him to not kill his own son to deal with this and rather let one of his other sons kill his own son. And then he's okay. David, man.
I think this is particularly disappointing for David, who so far has, like, anytime someone does some slight, even if they think they're doing the right thing, David kills them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right? Like the people who killed Ishbosheth.
Yeah, he doesn't hesitate, really.
Right.
No.
And yet here, he's a total schmuck. So that sucks. Okay. If you weren't convinced before, I think these last 2 chapters have really solidified. Why do we talk about Saul like he's bad and David like he's good?
I agree.
I think this is
completely
super clear.
It seems comparatively they're about equally as bad.
I almost think David's worse, to be totally honest with you. Because, like, Saul... Okay,
Saul was
maybe,
a conflicted, like, anti-hero type, but yeah.
But, like, most of the bad things that Saul did was just against David.
That's true.
David does bad shit against all sorts of people.
That's true.
That's true. Saul was just throwing spears around and had evil spirits.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems downright innocent by comparison.
I'm starting to come around to Samuel here, being like, kings are bad news. We don't want them.
Yeah. Those good old days of Samuel. Wow.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, what do you think is going to happen next time?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll get to talk more about Solomon, who we only had, like, a brief encounter with this time around.
Well, I guess God loves just straight out of the womb for some reason.
Yeah, just, like, obsessed with Solomon. I know. Yeah, I want to know why... Is Solomon going to, like, change this precedent set by the 2 previous kings? Or is he also going to be a big pain in the ass?
Well, I don't want to give any spoilers.
It's
okay, well, you kind of said it with what you just didn't say.
No, it's kind of a both and. It's a both and, Emily.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I feel like, that's the thing is, like, in my memory, like, King Solomon is talked about as being very wise and great, but so was David. So now I'm like, I don't know what to remember anymore.
I want to point out, Brady in the chat just pointed out the fact that the name Tamar has shown up before. If y'all remember the story of when Tamar, like, pretended to be a prostitute so that she could sleep with her father-in-law so that she could get pregnant.
Was this a different Tamar?
Yeah, it was a different Tamar.
So this is Tamar 1, but we're on Tamar A now.
Basically.
This is probably like Tamar F. We're like several
many
generations
generations.
later.
Okay.
Because that was like...
That was back with Jacob.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Those days. The Jacob days.
The Jacob
salad
days.
Yeah.
Those Canaan days.
Yeah.
Those were...
Know, where have they gone? Where did they go? You remember that one?
Sing it.
Oh,
Joseph?
yeah, from Joseph. Yeah. That weird French song.
You remember back when there was a fun movie to watch?
Oh, yeah.
All this stuff?
I remember.
Now we're just in all these, like, heavy movies.
Yeah, but we had, Richard Gere dancing about.
Oh, we're going to watch some more Richard Gere, actually, for our bonus episode. Yeah. I do kind of want to. It would be fun to do a watch party of that movie, the King David movie.
Of the King David movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
If that happens, we'll talk about it in the Drunk Bible Study fans and fellowship group. If y'all who are listening want to join us for our live shows, show up in the chat, say silly things, throw us off our rhythm, watch us struggle with technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Laugh and poke at us and drink along with us, then go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live to get more information about how to join our live shows and when the next one is going to be.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it and spread the word about the live shows. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Dedeker Winston, Emily Matlack, and me, Jace Lindgren. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.